Ugh, ads are such poop. Subscribe to Acast Plus now to skip ads and more for just $1 a month. Click the link in our show notes to learn how. And hey, we're on Patreon too. Your support helps cover the cost of running a podcast. For $2 a month, you can get early access to all our episodes ad-free, plus bonus episodes exclusive to Patreon subscribers only. Visit patreon.com/sacrilegious discourse to sign up now.
Want your most burning finance and investing questions answered? Here's a podcast you should be listening to, courtesy of Acast Recommends.
Are you ready for some personality in your personal finances? Hi, I'm Janice Torres Rodriguez, Latina money expert and host of the award-winning podcast, Yo Quiero Dinero. On this show, we're serving up POC-friendly personal finance knowledge, always with a side of sass. We're not talking about avocado toast and lattes on this show. We've got real, relatable personal finance knowledge that makes you feel seen, heard, and finally understood. Consider me your super cool, slightly risque, but always honest financial fairy godmother. Together, we'll tackle dinero in a fresh new way so you can finally become poderosa with your dinero. Check out our weekly podcast episodes at yoquierodineropodcast.com or subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts.
Acast helps creators launch, grow, and monetize their podcasts everywhere. Acast.com.
Welcome to Sacrilegious Discourse.
I'm husband.
And I'm wife.
Together, we're reading the Bible for the very first time.
We grew up without religion and wanted to know what all the fuss was about.
Well, what have we learned so far?
That God is a dick, and apparently some people believe in talking donkeys?
We're not trying to pass ourselves off as experts.
Nope, we're just reading the Bible for the first time and giving our first take reaction.
If you'd like to join us in this venture, you might consider starting at episode 1.
Otherwise, jump in wherever you like.
All right, let's go read the Bible.
Yeah, let's get to it. Husband!
Wife!
Do you remember what happened yesterday?
Yeah, Zophar was a dick.
He sure as fuck was.
He needs to, go away.
He was like, liar!
Job needs to be, pissed the fuck off, man.
And then Zophar was like, you're witless and evil and stupid.
Right? God.
Yeah,
you're ridiculous.
You're a bad idiot.
He really came down hard on Job.
I did not. I'm mad all over again today.
Right?
It made me so mad.
Yeah, he was a dick.
I'm just like, whomst the fuck?
Right? But you know who wasn't a dick?
Who?
Alyssa.
Alyssa!
Alyssa is our newest patron subscriber. One of our newest patron subscribers. Sorry, we're catching up. But definitely one of the newest Patreon subscribers that we have.
Alyssa, thank you so much.
Yeah, definitely. We really, we're doing this every day this week, but it never gets old.
No.
We really do appreciate each and every one of our Patreon subscribers because you're helping us do what we are doing.
And you're making it easier for us to keep coming back and do it again. And to stick with it. You're giving us the reason. You're the reason, you know?
You can't be here to see it, but we definitely smile really big when we get a new patron. And then I'm usually the first one to see it, but then I share it with wife immediately. And she's like, oh my God.
I'm always like, get the fuck out.
Yeah.
So thank you, Alyssa.
Yeah, it still takes us aback every single time.
Single time.
You're the best. If you want to become a Patreon subscriber for us and help us out at as low of a level as $2 a month, you can get ad-free episodes and early access to our episodes by going to going to patreon.com/sacrilegious discourse. And you can sign up right there. There's even a free trial at the $5 level so you can see what it's all about before ever deciding whether you want to do it or not. In fact, tomorrow, I think we're going to be shouting out one of our first free trial members.
Ooh, that's exciting.
Right? Yeah. But for now, that was the intro for what we covered yesterday, which was Job chapter 11.
Sure as fuck was.
And today we're going to be reading
Job chapter 12.
All right, let's go do this.
Okie dokie. Okay, Job chapter 12.
Okay.
Then Job replied, "Doubtless you are the only people who matter, and wisdom will die with you." Was that sarcasm?
I mean, I'm going to take it that way. That was great.
That sounded like sarcasm.
I mean, dude just called him witless, so, like, you know, that was a nice comeback.
Oh, sure, you're smart. Okay, tell me, a wise one. But I have a mind as well as you. I am not inferior to you.
Yeah.
And what sarcasm?
You stand up for yourself, Job. You go.
Nice.
Yeah.
This is cool.
Right?
Who does not know all these things? He's like, no shit. Everything you're saying, like, I was at class too.
Right.
I have become a laughingstock to my friends, though I called on God and he answered. A mere laughingstock, though righteous and blameless. Damn, I'm really proud of him.
Yeah.
Those who are at ease have contempt for misfortune as the fate of those whose feet are slipping. He's saying that it's easy for you. You're privileged.
Right.
That, I mean, basically that's what he's saying.
You didn't have anything bad happen to you.
Yeah, you don't fucking know.
Right. It's easy for you to cast doubt on me without having to.
You didn't live through this.
Right.
Did you lose your 10 children and get boils?
Right.
How about fuck off then?
But that could go for anybody.
Mm-hmm.
Like, hypothetically, this guy is a 1 in a million case, right? He's the only guy that God hasn't judged, apparently.
Mm-hmm.
And he's having this all happen because of a bet between God and Satan.
Right.
So it's not far off base in that world, in that
Sure.
idea that God does punish people correctly.
Right.
I don't believe that we live in that world.
No.
I don't think that anybody lives in that world.
Even in the world of the Bible, they didn't live in that world.
Right. But I mean, I'm just saying that as far as they're portraying to us, God does do things for a reason and what have you. So the fact that they're saying, well, you must have done something bad, does make some in the Bible canon logical sense. Right. But obviously it's wrong this time. Mm-hmm. So I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know how to take this. Like, they're weird. Not wrong, but they're wrong.
It's weird. You're supposed to hold two ideas in your head at once. And sometimes it's okay to do that. Walk and chew gum, right?
Sure.
But in this particular case, no, but they're completely, like, one does not go with the other.
Well, and I don't know how you can read these books and not, think of kids who are dying of cancer or, young people who are just not treated the way they should be.
Mothers who lose their babies.
Right. Yeah. I mean, how can you not think of these things where the person who died literally had no faults?
Right.
Right? Like, there was no faults to begin with.
Mm-hmm.
You have to be able to think of that when you're reading this, because God punishes, quote unquote, if there is a God, whatever. There's not a God. But within, you know what I'm saying?
Within the context of this book.
Right. You have to be able to say, but he does punish unjustly. He does.
He does.
If there is a God, he punishes unjustly.
Well, and he himself has shown examples of that in the writings of this book.
Right. Or at the very least allows for punishment.
Yeah. Yeah.
So.
Totally.
Sorry.
So anyway, Job is going off.
Yeah.
And I'm glad of it.
Yeah.
The tents of marauders are undisturbed, and those who provoke God are secure. Those God has in his hand. But ask the animals, and they will teach you, or the birds in the sky, and they will tell you, or speak to the earth, and it will teach you, or let the fish in the sea inform you. Which of all these does not know that the hand of the Lord has done this? In his life is the life of every creature, and the breath of all mankind. Does not the ear test words as the tongue tastes food? Is not wisdom found among the aged? Does not long life bring understanding? It sounds like he's saying, like, more of the same, like, no shit.
Yeah.
No shit, Sherlock.
I do take a little bit of exception with the does long life bring understanding, because I got to be honest with you, I deal with a lot of old people, and I don't think that's true.
It's really not. Old people cannot adapt.
Yeah,
They're
really bad.
So bad.
It's really bad.
Like, I don't even necessarily think that it's old people in general. I think it's boomers and older.
Right.
I think that maybe Gen X will be the first generation that doesn't quite age out of learning, because we were the first generation that played video games through adulthood. You know what I mean?
Right.
And so we were also the first generation that we know life before computers and after computers, before cell phones and after cell phones.
Right.
Like, we grew up without and learned in our teenage and young adult years.
Right.
So I feel like Gen X, which you and I are, is going to be the first generation that doesn't age out of learning.
I really hope so. That'd be great.
That would be great.
Although I already know some of our generation that has already done that.
No, and I'm not saying our generation across the whole.
Right.
Yes, I mean PTA moms, Karens, etc. Like they're done. They quit learning.
Right.
They have zero.
We're just going for percentages here, right?
Yeah.
Like we want a higher percentage than the boomers.
Yes.
Got it.
And the millennials, there will be more millennials than Gen X. And there will definitely be more Gen Z than millennials.
To be perfectly fair, I do meet my fair share of boomers too that are still, pretty hip and cool.
There are some that are somewhat savvy. Or if not savvy, at least interested in learning.
Right.
Or at least able to admit to not being savvy while not being offended. You know what I mean? Like the difference between my mom and your mom,
Right.
Like your mom and my mom are both really stupid when it comes to Facebook. They don't know what they're doing.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's cute, but it's also annoying, right?
Right.
But your mom is like, but I want to know.
Right.
And your mom asks questions. Your mom asks questions not just about like Facebook and stuff, but about like LGBTQ terminology and wanting to learn the new language of what's correct and what's not correct and why.
Right.
And your mom has a curiosity and an interest in gaining knowledge. My mom, not so much.
Right.
My mom's done, she aged
stopped.
out of learning. And that's the difference I'm talking about. But if I said, oh, you're such a boomer, your mom would laugh.
Right.
And be like, yeah, I am.
Right.
Whereas my mom would be like, well, that's not, and you're in our generation, and like offended. And I'm like, being offended is such a boomer response.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, don't be so boomery.
Right.
Like, I don't know how to explain it. But
I always feel like you have to own your generation's flaws anyway.
You do.
That's part of your crutch to bear.
Yes.
So.
Like, our generation, some of the flaws were like participation trophies.
Right.
Although it was the boomers that gave them to us. So, I mean, like, yeah, we received them. So we have a whole generation of, points for trying.
Right.
And I don't know, I've read so much bad on that. But now that I'm an adult, like older, I kind of feel like, you know what? It is brave to try.
And when I say you got to own it, I don't mean you have to like internalize it. I mean that you have to be able to make fun of your own generation, right?
Yeah.
You have to realize, yep, that's
us.
Yeah.
Like, why are you so eager to be offended for your entire generation?
Right.
Really?
Right.
Like, you don't see it. Huh? It's like, it's the not all men. But, okay, yes, not all men. Right. But you do see that men are more problematic than women when it comes to domestic violence or rape. Yes, I know not all men. And yes, I know that women can be the perpetrators of those crimes as well. But generally speaking, it's men.
Right. Yeah.
So I don't understand men that are like, but not all men. Like, no, we know. That's not the fucking point.
Right.
So, sorry, we got way off track. Okay. So anyway, he's going on. To God belong wisdom and power. Counsel and understanding are his. What he tears down cannot be rebuilt, except for Jericho. I mean, there's a few things that got rebuilt.
Right, yeah.
Those he imprisons cannot be released.
No? Who is he imprisoned, though? I don't recall anybody that he's imprisoned.
I mean, I don't get it.
Yeah.
Like, what do you mean by imprisoned even?
Mostly he just, like, kills people.
He smites them.
Yeah. I don't know.
Or he covers them with boils.
He skips the prison bit, usually.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
He just covers them with boils. And in the case of Moses' sister Miriam, He lets them heal.
Right, but mutes them.
Yeah.
Can't talk.
Yeah, that's true.
I guess maybe he kind of imprisoned her within herself.
Okay.
Maybe. Sort of.
That's a stretch.
It's a stretch.
I'll allow it, but with the caveat that I do think it's quite the stretch. Okay, anyways.
Yeah.
If he holds back the waters, there is drought. Well,
unless he's holding back the waters of the Jericho River.
The Jericho River.
Wasn't it? Wait, what was
what
was the river?
The
Jordan River.
Jordan.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Oh.
Like you said.
Yeah, no.
And I couldn't get it out of my head.
I knew the river was near Jericho, but I couldn't remember what
the Jordan.
I thought it was the Jordan River. Or the Red Sea. Or the Dead Sea. What? Which one was it?
The Dead Sea. The Red Sea.
Was it the Red Sea?
The
Red Sea.
The Red Dead Sea.
Man, I'm having trouble tonight.
Okay, you know what? Let's just skip that.
Yeah, we're going to skip that bit. Sorry.
Edit it out. Just kidding. Keep it in.
Yeah.
Okay, if he holds back the waters, there's drought. If he lets them loose, they devastate the land. So let me guess. There's droughts and there's floods.
Right, yeah.
That happens.
We know about them floods.
To him belongs strength and insight. Both deceived and deceiver are his. He leads rulers away stripped and makes fools of judges. Does he though?
I mean, he lets them rule for a long time, or he doesn't. But sometimes he does.
It's kind of willy-nilly, and it feels
really
like
was.
It feels like he doesn't really take a hand in it. If I'm being honest.
No, it was just kind of random.
Yeah. He takes off the shackles put on by kings and ties a loincloth around their waist. I don't recall that ever happening.
No,
I never
either.
saw that.
Right.
He leads priests away stripped and overthrows officials long established.
Not so much. What about all the priests' problems we've had recently?
Recently, as in since the Catholic Church began?
Right, yeah.
He silences the lips of trusted advisors and takes away the discernment of elders.
Okay.
Yeah, all the elders do have their discernment taken away. I'm so hateful towards old people tonight.
We're being kind of mean tonight, so
I apologize.
Sorry about that. Yeah,
I'm not gonna stop, but I do recognize that I'm not being nice.
I think we're kind of stuck on our neighbor.
The Karen.
We've been bitching about her a lot.
We have.
So I think maybe it's rubbing off on us a little bit. We're kind of in a hateful mode.
Yeah.
We need to reevaluate that.
Which is funny because I don't think she's a boomer. I think she's our age.
Yeah, no, definitely. I'm pretty sure she's our age.
So I don't know why I'm being so hateful at boomers.
Whatever. She acts bad.
I mean, she's not cool, guys.
No. We still have not had an apology or any olive branch and nothing.
It feels like there's been avoidance. Oh, but there was a car parked pretty close to, I'm pretty sure it was in front of our house-ish.
Yeah, and they had 3 cars parked out there today.
Yeah.
What the fuck? Seriously? You just yelled at... Whatever. I'm done.
No, you have to finish it for anybody who wasn't listening or forgot.
Okay.
She just literally asked us, I guess I don't get two parking spaces in front of my house anymore, huh?
On public parking.
Yeah.
Public street parking.
And so, tonight she's got 3 cars out there. And I'll have you know, she's not moving.
And I'll have you know, we only have 1 out there.
Yeah.
We have 1. And part of one of her 3 cars was parked in front of our property.
Yeah.
So, anyway.
And normally, I wouldn't give a fuck. I didn't give a fuck all the times before that when their cars...
when we had to park down the street because there was people parked in front of our fucking house and it was probably her.
Probably. I didn't think about it at the time because I was just it is what it is. Yeah. Public parking sucks.
Right.
Okay.
Sorry, we're bitter. We're bitter.
We're bitter.
We need to calm down about that.
Okay. Let's do
This is not the podcast where we bitch about people parking in front of our house.
No, it's not.
We're reading the Bible.
Let's do a nice. I love you, babe.
I love you, babe.
Okay. Yeah. I feel better.
All right.
He pours contempt on nobles.
God is not stopping though.
No. And disarms the mighty.
Okay.
Sometimes, I guess, whatever.
According to the Bible.
He reveals deep things of darkness and brings utter darkness into the light.
Okay.
I just feel like this is boring.
Yeah.
God is great. God is good.
Right. He does all the wonderful, crazy, awesome things.
Let us thank him for the food. Amen.
He literally stopped the sun. Remember that? Yeah,
blah,
that
blah,
was
blah. Cool. Mm-hmm. He makes nations great if he feels like it, and destroys them when he feels like it.
Sure. Yeah.
He enlarges nations sometimes and disperses them usually. He deprives the leaders of the earth of their reason. Yeah, he's done that. He makes them wander in a trackless waste. Yeah, he did.
Just ask Moses, you know?
They grope in darkness with no light. He makes them stagger like drunkards. The end.
Okay. That's what took them so long. They were staggering through
Darkness.
the land like drunkards.
Like drunkards.
Yeah. It wasn't like just a walk to Israel. It was a stagger. And that's how they ended up going in circles for a while. And then they eventually got there. See, that explains Moses, right? Yeah, that's why it took 40 years.
Drunk ass.
Staggering. They were staggering the entire way.
Yeah.
Because of God.
Yeah. Because God's a dick.
I get it now.
There it is. We circle back around.
Right?
God's a dick.
Totally explains it.
Yep.
All right. Well, that was Job's comeback.
I mean, I am glad that he told his friend off.
Yeah, I like the way it started off was really cool. I liked it.
Let's not forget.
But then we went into the God shit, and I was like,
but I don't want to lose sight of the fact that he did start out saying, "Ooh, really?
Right? Yeah.
Are you smart? Do you know stuff?"
It sounds like he's kind of like it almost feels like the reason he's gonna move beyond this is just out of pure anger towards the way his friends have reacted to it.
I know.
You know, like, no, I'll show you. I'm gonna still worship God and blah blah blah.
Yeah,
and you can just fuck right the fuck off.
Like, don't even worry about it. This is between me and God, anyways.
Right? I'll show you.
Whatever. You have nothing to say over here.
Right.
Like,
whatever.
You know what I don't know about the story of Job?
What's that?
How it ends.
Nor do I.
And I'm curious. Like, now that we're 12 books in, I'm curious. Like, does he just end up dying in the end, or do we do like? It was all a dream.
I honestly don't know anything about the story other than what you have told me.
Right.
Like, you're the one that was fascinated with the story before we ever got to it.
Because the bet with God and between God
so
and the devil.
I didn't really know much about it other than hearsay from you. And so...
Wow. So you didn't know anything about Job before I told you?
I mean, I might have heard like the smallest snippets before you had told me something about it. But not really.
But if somebody had said...
It wasn't one of the major things. Like, I literally... Like, the major stories that I knew about are basically, creation, the flood.
Adam and Eve.
Like...
Noah.
Right. I know kind of what Revelation is. Like, it's the... Whatever, that big shitstorm at the end of the Bible.
I don't know about that.
I'm just saying, like... And then that was basically my understanding of the Bible. Like, I didn't know that much about it.
So if somebody walked up to you and said, "What was Job about?" you would not have been able to answer?
Probably not, no.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Even I knew that.
Well, this is what I get for living in a godless world.
Do you feel lesser than?
Not at all. Not at all.
No. Guess what? I don't feel enlightened for having known the story.
All right. Well, that was Job chapter 12.
Sure as fuck was.
And we will be back tomorrow with...
Job chapter 13.
All right. We'll see you guys then.
Bye.
Hey, wife. I guess that's the end?
But husband, that's just sad.
It doesn't have to be. We are on lots of social media platforms like Twitter. Our handle there is sacrilegious_D.
For D's nuts.
Oh my God. Stop doing that. Anyway, we're also on Facebook, Instagram, and Pinterest. There's a link to all of our social media sites at our website.
Ooh, we have a website?
Yeah, it's sacrilegiousdiscourse.com, where you can also find a link to our merch shop.
We have a merch shop?
Yep, we have podcast-themed clothing, mugs, notebooks, and more, as well as an atheist and science-themed products.
Wow, our fans should really go check that out right now.
Definitely. They can get in touch with us by sending an email to sacrilegiousdiscourse@gmail.com. But before they do that, we could really use some help.
Oh yeah? With what?
Well, it's not free running the podcast, and we need some financial support in order to get better equipment, which will free up time so we can concentrate on our podcast and our fans.
Okay, so what should they do?
Head over to patreon.com/sacrilegiousdiscourse and sign up as a contributor on our podcast. Supporters there receive additional bi-weekly episodes that we record just for our Patreon members for as little as $2 a month.
Also, we'd really appreciate it if you would like and subscribe on whatever platform you're using.
And Apple Podcast reviews help us out tremendously.
Like and subscribe. Leave an Apple review. Join us on Twitter. Support us on Patreon. That's a lot of instructions. Don't forget to say thanks.
Thanks.
Okay, bye.
Want your most burning finance and investing questions answered? Here's a podcast you should be listening to, courtesy of Acast Recommends.
Are you ready for some personality in your personal finances? Hi, I'm Janice Torres Rodriguez, Latina money expert and host of the award-winning podcast, Yo Quiero Dinero. On this show, we're serving up POC-friendly personal finance knowledge, always with a side of sass. We're not talking about avocado toast and lattes on this show. We've got real, relatable personal finance knowledge that makes you feel seen, heard, and finally understood. Consider me your super cool, slightly risque, but always honest financial fairy godmother. Together, we'll tackle dinero in a fresh new way so you can finally become poderosa with your dinero. Check out our weekly podcast episodes at yoquierodineropodcast.com or subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts.
Acast helps creators launch, grow, and monetize their podcasts everywhere. Acast.com.